off we go on our cruise this morning. Lovely morning for it as well. So the old southerly just wants to hang on for a little bit longer, but pretty light conditions. Just been talking to someone who's doing some research out in the harbour that there are a few dolphins about, so come out and see them. I don't think you're disappointed today. I'd just introduce the crew to you. My name is Ron, I met you at the door, and I'll be our driver this morning, and also be your nature guide. So I've got plenty to keep me busy. I hope you though can sit back and relax, forget about your worries on the land, and just enjoy the cruise this morning. We'll be sharing 2 hours together, so we'll see what we can find today to point out. I'll just point out various things of interest as we go along. Of course, you'll be wanting to see the dolphins, and it's a good time of the year to do that. We never see hundreds of them. It's not the way it is with these little hectic dolphins. We see them in 2s and 3s. And although it could be, say, 50 or 60 in the harbour this morning, any one time you just see them in these small groups. They actually spread out over the whole bay fishing in small groups. So that's the way it is with the hectic dolphins. And the first one, the harbour, it's actually, they just look that big. He's the largest of the cormorants we have in the area. So I'd like to introduce Rowan this morning. She's looking after the cabin side of things, and she'll be helping me look out for the wildlife as well. If you're having any difficulties or problems, just talk to her, we'll sort it out for you. Well, we're about to leave French Bay. It's the name of the bay in front of the Akaroa township. And we're going to head south at the moment, for the moment, out towards the entrance. Akaroa has a very interesting history, of course, both Maori and European. And it's actually unique in the history of New Zealand because we had a shipload of French people arrived in here in 1840. Organised by a French whaling captain called Zealand.It, and he thought it'd be a really good place to form a French colony. In fact, France was hoping to take over the whole South Island, not just Akaroa. When they arrived in here, the HMS Britomart was sitting in the bay waiting for them, and the Union Jack was flying on the point to left. You can see the clay bank over there, it's got a monument on it, marks the place where that was done. So the French, although they were disappointed, fell in love with Akaroa, and most of them decided to stay here under English rule. Now if you want to know more about that part of Akaroa, we have a very compact and well-presented museum. Even if you don't like museums, I think you'll probably enjoy having a look around in there. They've even got a movie which is shown on request. Council do own the land beyond, though, behind this bay, so there is some intention one of these days to expand the town around to this area. You have to be a little bit careful about that, though, because during the summertime there's a lot of pressure put on the facilities here, the sewage and the water, fresh water as well. Sometimes we even have to go on to water restrictions. Anyway, we're on a wildlife cruise this morning, and I'll try and find as much of the wildlife as we can. It's a good time of the year to come out here to do that. Now you can see, or if you can see ahead of us, you'll see we're not exactly alone this morning. There's a vessel moving across here quite close alongside. Yeah, hello.
Here's one, mate.
My camera.
Oh, they've gone under the boat. They should be on the side.
You see some more out to the left?
They just went under the boat there.
And right in front of the boat at the moment. So you see, you just have to be a little bit patient with these dolphins. If you rush around willy-nilly, you won't see them very well at all. So these ones have decided that they just like well, the Marine Mammal Sanctuary, and we have the privilege to be on part of it today. It's from Sumner, this is just out from Christchurch, right around the peninsula to the Rakaia River. 4-mile area out to sea, and it includes the 37 bays of Banks Peninsula, so it's not just the Akaroa harbour. With the result of that, over the last 10 or 11 years, we think that the dolphins have certainly stabilised their numbers and may have also increased a wee bit as well. So I'll tell you a bit more about the Hendrix dolphins when we find them again. It's better to be looking at them really at that time. It's not just a dolphin cruise, this one of course. If you joined us to have a look at the other things in the bay, I've noticed a couple of houses up on our left, immediately on our left. There is a road above these houses that leads out to the little Maori village that we get to view. Might just go over to that bay this morning if we look. The French, when they sailed into the harbour, remarked on the beauty of her areas set aside for the inhabitants that were here. So this is one of them. The meeting house is new, beautifully carved. The post on the top of the roof is actually a carved Maori figure. It represents Tamaharanui, who was a paramount Maori chief of the Ngātahu people. In reality, he was nearly 7 feet tall. So he guards the entrance. There are 16 other Maori chiefs as carvings, both outside and inside the building. You need an invitation to go into a building like that though. But the church is unlocked and there's no one around and you're out here. Just go through the white gate and open up the church door and go and have a look inside. The church is beautifully proportioned to the size of the bay. It was built there in 1876. That's as far as you can drive around the lower part of the harbour. I wouldn't bother driving up the valley road. It's very steep and narrow unless you got some business at the house up there. Nice boat room. That's part of the Banks Peninsula walking track. Track bus picks you up from the town of Akaroa, and they drop you off there for the first night. 4 days later, and 35 kilometres length, you end up back in the town of Akaroa. Very good book, I can personally recommend that one to you. You won't have 4 days to spare now, of course, but there are other walks too. They range in time from half an hour to 7 hours. Information centre. We're just going to, now the way of the boat is just going to carry us over them, but don't be worried, they're fine, they know this boat really well, no way we can hurt them in any way. So we've got 3 more, and they're pretty positive about coming over to us, weren't they? So we're just
These look like full-sized dolphins. Don't reach them. Don't turn on until they come up.
Got them here, I got them on tape.
Lovely relaxed site deal. If you get them under the water too much, they come out all rippled with colour photographs. Try and wait to get right up to the top. So they're all right under our toes at the moment. They're retrieved by the ears, and the dolphin it's retrieved through the lower jaw. They send out signals ahead of them. Goes out what's called through the melon. Bounce rebounded back and comes into the lower jaw, which is actually full of oil as well. They must have an onboard computer to work all this out. And they can work out what kind of fish are ahead of them, how big they are, and what don't see anymore. At the moment they are following us though, down the sides and around the front of the vessel. And they sometimes play the voyage as well. Sometimes they can get a little bit excited and they'll come out in front of us, I think. But very unpredictable when they do that. You know when they're going to happen. It's quite hard to get it on. The dark blue round ring kind of jellyfish that we have at the moment. Nice to see them like this. The other way up, doing the same thing. Empty little dolphin. One of us here on stop.
That's right.
Tiny lumps, it's almost like they're tied together. Give an idea, she might be up to the left. Whether she'll come back again. Like human babies, they can't communicate that well, and their little sonar takes a while to get going properly. And
Yes.
Did you see the wee baby? No, I didn't.
Yes,
Oh,
I did. No.
just tiny.
Did you see them?
He's so small.
Yeah?
So he does. As we get a bit further up, we really see the bulk of it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes, it's back again.
No, we get up quite
great.
close to them.
This one, oh, and another one too. Two of them.
I'll let him know that you're interested. He's an absolute treasure of
Oh,
information.
good.
And he knows you're especially
Five,
interested.
one out there, 6.
well, it doesn't get much better than this. Beautiful day, dolphins everywhere. So his mother and its calf left us, it appears. Not too far away.
Hang on, I'll come out of your road.
Yeah, I'm need to go up and get another roll of
Very
fruit.
young one though. Yeah, for a day, so we might see, never know, we might see another one yet. And the time clock eventually just going at full speed, it goes very quickly on daylight. Now from our right hand side is 4 roads to Black Slope. That's the Akaroa harbour farm. And the Canterbury Cat Dolphins, so we'll just keep going ready for the Akaroa salmon farm at the moment. But apparently things are going pretty well over there. They're very pleased with the results. Harbour, of course, is New Zealand's abalone species, and actually have the most colourful shell of all the abalones in the world. Oh, mother and calf is behind us. But that's off to the right. The farmer who set that up over there has a quota to catch power in the wild, and he brings legal size power to the area, and he puts them in plastic drums each way to the container. Screw top lid with a grill top and bottom to let the water flow in and out. And Okay, it looks like we're going to feed the pin on the end here.
They're going to feed this.
We'll do that now. So we'll be looking to the left-hand side. Okay?
Look at the diagram, I think you get.
I'm going to go and get you a camera.
Pretty lively fish, I'd say.
Okay. Christmas Eve. Yep.
Yeah, shadow. Used to have a girlfriend called Lucy, but she's not around here anymore. Anyway, steel frames hold open the nets. The nets go down into the water 5 metres, and they're tied off like a big sack underneath, so the fish can't get away. They don't actually release the salmon into the ocean. They keep them in there all the time. So it looks like a pretty healthy lifestyle. Two bronze jumpy in there. Both of them are farm managers. Steel frame. There's 14 pens altogether.
Good dog, eh?
And the whole thing is tied to the seafloor with ropes, you'll notice.
Lovely dog.
And they lead out to combat.
He had a girlfriend, but she's gone. So he said. Where's that?
I've interesting little boat there. One's got 2 hooks at the bottom under the frame thing. Now before we leave there, you might be interested in the shoreline. See the great holes, cabins in it. And these are old gas bubbles that have come down from the lava flow from the volcano. And as it's cooled off, they just burst open and left these holes. We've got a row of them here actually. Also in the water, Antarctica, the fronds there are actually hollow, and you can see it gets quite stressed. The ones at the top you see in the hot sun are drying out, but they will survive that until the tide comes in. It takes about 30 years before the holdfast that holds them on the rock becomes weakened by things growing
See the shag. See that bird?
I've seen some on
Straight
the beach.
ahead.
Really good examples of it here. It has to be tough as leather, very abrasive, area through here. Earthbound barnacles and black mussels. The bird standing on the rock, the grey one there, is a juvenile or immature spotted shag. We'll show you the adult.
Oh yeah, okay.
Another bird here, just trying to identify it.
Yeah.
Just an old mallard. You see the Canada geese up there? Sort of there before. Giant Canada geese. Oh, just up above us. Goes on the rock, it actually glues itself on the rocks, a special type of glue. Impervious to acids and alkalis, and temperatures of over 200 degrees Celsius.
Thank you.
It also has 2 little watertight doors that it closes up when the tide goes down. All these things actually slow down the erosion process on the shoreline as well. You can see 2 different types of kelps here, one growing in the rocks, and the other one going up from the sea floor. This is called Macrocystis, and Macrocystis is the fastest growing plant on earth. Have a look at it. It can grow at 1 metre a day.
Oh!
You can see it along the rock. So there's a revenge vessel just coming in on the It's on the grid pad. You can talk to this point around behind us. don't. We see them coming along and we'll just wait behind try to avoid them. Just before we leave here, there's an example of a radial guide out to the right hand side. Vertical sharp creek rock, about line with the back of the boat now. And when the volcano cooled off, it cracked, and the magma flowed up from underneath it. It's quite a small one, but it's just an example. And the red rock here is called Strombolian ash. Strombolian ash cone. It's sort of like a mini volcano on the side of the edge of the main eruption. That bird on the plate, they give shelter for various types of fish, for example. Two of them that we know very well. One is the blue monkey, the other is the butterfish, and they're extremely good table fish as well. We also have red cod around here, the Akaroa cod, and we have a few blue cod, we have crayfish, and flounders. Makes you hungry, doesn't it? The two pink lines on the seawall to your right on that great cliff also show you how intense this huge volcano was. A couple of layers there over 60 feet. So you don't need to be worried about the volcano while you're on holiday. Volcanologists tell us it's very unlikely to erupt again. Except for the entrance, we are completely surrounded by the inner walls of the volcano. There are two major eruptions, and they form 37 bays altogether, the fingers running out from the coast, and the fingers on the hand. The spaces between your fingers are bays like this one. The height of 2,500 metres, and some of the subsidence has been eroded away by the wind once again now. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. Just coming up in front of us is some white rocks on the headland, and we just like to concentrate on them. We'll see a few birds here today. They're actually sunning themselves. Been away fishing this morning, and they come out onto stamps of New Zealand native birds some years ago. You get a size reference with the gulls, the little red-billed gulls. See those along the foreshore of the town. They're quite tall. They long tapered bodies, topped off with a long thin bill with a hook on the end for grasping hold of their fish. Have a dark green tail, and it goes right up the back. Wings dark grey with small black spots on. You probably won't see that from this distance. White up the side of the neck and head, and a pearly grey feather. Very attractive cormorant feather. Also our most numerous. There's about 22,000 of them on the expedition at the moment. And have increased in numbers. That little bird there with a bit of stick in his bill, he's not necessarily thinking about building a nest. Cormorants have increased in numbers since the Sydney ban too, by the way. These places are taken up by the more experienced birds. But the idea is to have a nest which is built under an overhanging rock to protect you from the rain. Also fairly predator-proof here as well. Now the bird directly in front of us, the lowest one down, has got two chicks on its nest. Have a look at there to see them. Phenomenal growth rate. They're only a week old, these ones. They seem to be almost bird size already. See them just directly in front of us here. The one directly above these two is even huge. There we go, it hardly even need a zoom lens. This is what they call the guard period. It's alright, I am watching shoreline. There's always one adult to guard the youngsters. Once they get a lot bigger, then it requires more than one bird to satisfy their voracious appetite. Canterbury Museum has a bird display just like this, spotted shark. It's one of the best displays of all the birds.
It's not the yellow eye. I think it's this one here, is it? Or is it that one there?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the there with the yellow eye. See the yellow eye on?
Yeah.
They're weird.
Worry about it. It's got yellow eyes and a yellow crown. It's the third largest femur in the world. It's only a weak little colour that is. There's only two penguins that are larger than this one. And that is the Emperor that they started. Wonderful view for you today. Beautiful bird. It's one of two. They do actually nest up in the bushes up above the beach. Finally taken down and rearranged down. Entrance to the harbour, we'll see right across there in a moment. 1 nautical mile, which is 2 kilometres.
It's a mile across the
It's about easy to see the coastline of South America. Big cliff on the right looking out, called Timu. That really is a textbook example of a volcanic cliff. Deceptively high too, it's just over 500 feet at the top. And that's fairly typical of the whole coastline of the East Peninsula. It's steep, formidable country. Cliffs have borne the brunt of many ocean storms over millions of years. James Cook, the famous English navigator, was the first European to pass the entrance back in 1770. He named the hills here after his botanist, Joseph Banks. So we're approaching the Zealand.It. There are actually some palm trees in that steep little valley just immediately to the left of the cliff, just in front of us here. Maybe up to about 8 or 9 of us here. There's one quite low down, like a flat as well. Now, as we approach this place, you can see the lines on the cliffs, and by now, of course, you'll be aware of the fact that they are lava flows. So each line is an eruption layer. See a very good example of one of those out to the right, going down the cliff. that's existing on this area of the state. Very, very good conditions to have a look at as well. Red-billed gulls seem to like noisy colonies. See a gull going along pretty peaceful material in this field. They're going to be busy little birds here. Space between me and this. You can see one underneath the ledge. That must be very close to hatching out. It's been sitting there for quite a number of days now. Very good spot under there though. They can have, the red-billed gulls have only 2 chicks. That's extended up through. So just a little bit early for a hatchet on here. Now you remember on the other side of the harbour we stopped and looked at those birds nesting, cormorants. Well, if you have a look above us you'll see a place they nested last year. This is a cleansing year, so there's not a bird to be seen up there at all. Although it's a perfect place for it. It's an overhanging cliff so it's nice and dry. A good lead both in and out with one, but none of them there this year. Definitely no to move on. Little blue penguins nest in a cave underneath the cliff back there as well. Big problem for the little blue penguins and even the big yellow ones is predation in the fields. And like other birds, they can't fly away from danger. Thank you very much.